Hello, hello, hello. It is day 42, I think, of the challenge. And sorry, I'm distracted. I haven't really done a lot today. Um, I worked on some other stuff, went to the grocery store, and I'm really not sure that I'm satisfied with this drawing of this guy. I really, today, honestly, I'm like pretty wiped out. And so I'm sort of just like practice inking on this. If I might keep it, I might not. Um, and I'm sure I put in my little half hour, but watch out, dog. Move out of the way. I don't know how long I don't really think I'm gonna. It depends. I may or may not go longer. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna keep this. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this. I just felt like drawing today, honestly, and so I'm just sort of messing around and practicing. Yep. I think I'm still trying to develop like not a style or anything. Just I guess I'm trying to get used to that this might be how it's going to look if I instinctively with this brush that I've chosen on here, if I just instinctively work with it, like how it seems to come off my hand, and then try to be okay with that. Some people just have an innate style that they are drawn to and is natural for them, and they just work with and refine their whole lives. And because I've been interested in so many different art styles and so many different types of art my whole life, I have dabbled in with so many things that I've been changing my style up, or changing what I do up, I should say, for years and years, and for different clients and for different projects. And because of that, I'm never sure if I'm doing the right thing. That if what comes naturally to me at the time, because we all evolve, is correct, pleasing, right, I've followed a lot of artists over the years, and I've watched them evolve. And like one of my favorite comic book artists is Matt Wagner, and I loved Mage when it first came out, and I love Grendel. But he wasn't. He had a really wonderful storytelling style, and his art at first wasn't the best. It hadn't reached its full potential, let's just say. Like compared to how he draws now, he's definitely you know, but when he's definitely a master, right? When he was young, he had a wonderful style and there was something compelling about his art. And and again, his storytelling and his art, everything, the whole package was great, even though, you know, he was young and it wasn't probably his best work or what he was like the best capable of, because he was still learning, he was still growing. And so I always look at that and I think to myself, you know, God, you loved Mage. You thought it was the best. And I did, and I still do. And especially the early Mage, my gosh. I mean, I must have read those comics a million times. And yet he evolved, right? He changed and grew better and better and better. And yet he was still salesworthy, right? And his style is still, you can see it. You can see, even though he's evolved, you can still see the evolution of what made him unique, of his unique voice. And so when I get stuck on myself, I think about people like that I've followed for years, that I admire so much. And if he had waited, I mean, I don't know, did he think he was amazing back then? I.e., he was amazing back then, but did he think he was like the bomb, or did he think, you know, was he insecure? I don't know. I haven't like seen any interviews or anything. Or did he, what am I trying to say? Like, obviously he did not let, if he had any insecurities, he didn't let that stand in his way. And he didn't wait until some mythical time when he was maybe like, you know, he already felt he was the best, or like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm like totally like interpreting what he may or may not have felt. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, let's say a hypothetical is, you know, somebody, so again, I follow a lot of independent people, and I haven't been collecting. So I have to use like the examples of the people I was obsessed with in the 90s, right? So like when Wendy Pini came out, when she first did her ElfQuest, the first issue was kind of radically different in style from her later art in the series, but she was always accomplished. Like she was always like right out of the gate. She's just one of those natural people that, even if you like look at her stuff when she was trying to adapt Elric, she was very proficient in and was pretty much able to draw anything she wanted from an early age. And she just, you know, got better, but her style changed as she got older due to other things, due to taste and due to I don't know, I think she had some health issues. But due to like, and trends on what was going on, right? But because when she first started, her elves were really short and round, like and she clearly had an anime influence. But then she made them more proportionately, like not quite so short and round. But anyway, so even she had this, even though she was quite adept, like right away, she had this. She changed too, and didn't stop her from publishing. Didn't stop her from working on comics. Oh, and like look at the freaking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, those guys. I mean, no fucks were given on that, right? And they also evolved and improved, and yet their comic was like so amazing and fun and a success. So I've totally lost the train of thought on what I'm doing here. What was the point I was making? Oh, was that I worry too much over this crap. I should just draw and not try to constrain it into anything. And, I mean, you always want to strive to improve. You always want to strive to make your panels better, your anatomy better, your backgrounds better, your perspective better, your camera angles better, the writing better. But, all this fuss that I seem to do over trying to make things so perfect before I will even dare to put something out is, it's a detriment, right? I I have reason. I mean, I know what some of the reasons are for this. It's funny too because I was pulling out my old comics the other day because I sold one that I didn't want anymore. So most of my comic book collection was destroyed, but I had a first print of The Killing Joke that I was never going to read again, and I thought, no, I'll just sell it. So I sold it to the comic book shop. But anyway, I was looking through the little bit of comics I have left that survived. Um, and I had some indie stuff in there that I loved, and I bought every issue of back in the 90s. Um, not all of which survived. That um, were not. Let's just say the artists would not have gotten a job at Marvel or DC based on skill alone. But that did not stop them from independent publishing and finding a readership in, independent publishing and distributing to comic book stores and getting people like me to read their stuff, right? So, and I loved those. I mean, I bought those. I faithfully bought the books every week. I had them on my pull list. And I knew then that they weren't like they weren't John Buscema or Jack Kirby level, and they wouldn't be hired. And yet I still loved their books and I still bought them. So I should just I'm just, so much harder on myself than I am on anybody else. I love supporting independent comic book creators and independent writers, and I am forgiving of things don't need to be perfect for me to enjoy them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If it's with somebody else, but with me, if it's not perfect, it's not okay. Oh, Zabethy popped in. What is she saying? She can't hear me, which is probably good she can't hear me because she would hear my. What is she saying here? Oh, I'm going to reply. It is a good thing you can't hear me because I am waxing poetic about insecurity and perfection and not letting it hold you back. Complete rambling on my end. So, So anyway, I don't know if this, you know, I don't know how much playback of this video people, like if people will discover this video down somewhere, I mean, you know, down the line, and if anybody can relate to what I'm saying. If somebody stumbles upon this someday and listens to my crazy rambling, the point is not to be like me. Don't obsess so much over stupid crap and let it hold you back, because if Matt Wagner had obsessed over a perceived quality of his work and was hypercritical of it like I was, he might not have thought it was ready to be, you know, sold and distributed to comic book shops all across the country. And then I, Karen the reader, would never have seen it and been so in love with it. I'm not saying that he should have. What I'm saying is that, and he only got better. The more he did, the better and more amazing he got. And then he did Grendel. And he, you know, I think he's doing Mage again. I am so I'm really behind on all that, and I'd like to get the trades and catch up with all that. Sabethy is stuck. Baby shower. Oh no. I mean, she can't hear me, so I have to type. So anyway, I feel like this is very crooked. This guy is very crooked. Crooked. Crooked, and not in the sense of a criminal. I'm drawing him crooked. I'm inking him crooked. It's funny how if this was pencil, like if this was real, like if I was working in traditional, I would have to like really pencil out tight pencils before I'd try to ink, because I'd be scared to death of it being wrong. But this is the magic of digital world, and we can just erase it and try again and sort of draw with our pens. Yikes, dude. I don't know what I'm doing here. This dude's mouth. Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing here. Erase! Ugh. Oh my God, that dog looks so sad over there. If you could only see what I see. What I should do is look at some reference and freaking. I gotta look and draw that better under there is what I should do. I feel like I'm going to have to change that middle panel now. Oh, Sabethy escaped. Hooray! She's free, people. She's free. This guy was looking way too young in the background, so gotta old him up, age him up a little bit. Not that it really matters. I feel like this brush that I'm using is making me be more loosey-goosey. And the other brush was making me be more stiff, and I don't know which I like better. Not stiff and like, what am I trying to say? Like I put more wiggle and stuff in the lines and crap. No, I don't know if I like it. I don't know if it looks sloppy or... No. So I don't know if Sabethy can hear me now that she's in the car. And she can't text because she's driving. But I don't know how much longer I'm going to go. Because it's already 1 o'clock here. And I don't want you to text and get into an accident. And by text, I mean in the chat. So, I mean, I guess the ultimate thing about a comic book really is Can you tell what's going on in the story? Like, ultimately, if we just like pare it down into like, okay, this is not going to win an Eisner or, get me a job at DC doing Batman, right? So, and that's not even necessarily the point of it. So, if we just like don't even, what is it that we're doing here? We're just telling a story. And the art has to be good enough that you can tell who's who, get a sense of where they are, and what the action is. Right? There was a webcomic that I was following that I really liked. I can't remember the name of it now, and I think it fell to some internet drama. But the guy's art was not good at all. From an academic standpoint, it wasn't. Yet it got pretty popular and it had a pretty big following, and the story was great. I really enjoyed it. Then I lost touch with it, and then I heard from a friend who knows more about the webcomic scene than I do that it fell prey to. He kind of turned into it. Oh, I don't know. Just what am I trying to say? Sometimes you put your work out there online and people want to give you advice on how to fix it, which everybody should take critique, man. When I was in college, the one thing that you had to do in every studio class was you had to put your shit up on the board or sit around in a circle with your easels inward, and everybody had to critique the shit out of your work. And you had to put it on a mat board, on a black mat, display it, so that everybody would rip it apart, including the teacher. Every single time. And you learned how to take critique. In college. I also minored in theater, so let me tell you, I learned how to take critique there too. And it is valuable and good, but sometimes people don't know how to take critique. And when you put your stuff out there, you're always going to get critiqued. Sometimes you'll ask for it, sometimes you won't. Sometimes it'll be helpful, sometimes it won't. But I guess what happened with this guy is that he never improved. So like how I was saying earlier, people loved his work even though for the whole package of the story, but it wasn't exactly, the art wasn't exactly great, right? And so when he would get critiqued, he never improved, and that's okay too. Some people just aren't going to improve, but I guess the thing was he didn't try to improve. This is all hearsay from what I remember with talking about it with my friend. And again, I don't even remember the comic now, so I'll just say this is a take it with a grain of salt. But he didn't try to improve. He got defensive. He never ever tried to improve. And so there was none of that growth that people like to see. Like people in the webcomics, I guess, would like to support and see growth, is what I remember. When I was more, there was a time where I was really heavily gonna be doing webcomics, and so I was more in tune with what was going on in that scene. I am not that in tune anymore, but there's, and then so usually if people like on DeviantArt, God, when I was I'm not active on DeviantArt anymore. I used to be very active on DeviantArt, a few years back. Same thing there, people would go and get into huge butthurt wars over drama, fucking all this created drama, that bullshit that just was pointless. Usually over hurt feelings about people not being able to take critiques or not being open for critiques, and then people would turn on them, and then they'd get their fans to turn on the other people, and oh my god, it's so stupid. Now I'm really gone down a path of which I don't even remember what I was originally talking about. I don't even remember what I was talking about. It's a problem. It's a problem. So if anybody remembers what I was talking about, and hopefully there was a point. So I hope it helped whatever point I was trying to make, because I don't even know the hell I was saying. Oh, well, yeah, I started this whole thing by saying that I don't know if I'm going to keep this line art that I'm drawing, but that I'm just practicing, and I might keep it, I might not keep it. I just felt like drawing today. So do I put lines back here, or do I just fill it with black? I'm not afraid of blacks. Let's spot some blacks. See how that looks. Yeah, that's probably good. I don't know how much of his... Oh, I'm going to have to redraw that back there. I can't take it! I got to finish that dude's head. Over there, back there on the other panel. But anyway, whatever. In fact, when I was going... So I ramble all over the place, I'm sorry. So when I was talking about, there was like when I sold my copy of The Killing Joke at the comic book store the other day, last weekend. Was it last weekend? Last week? I think it was last weekend. And I was looking through the bin and I found this. I'm not going to name the comic because I don't really want to pass judgment on what my opinion of the art in it is or anything. But I want to dig those out again, because I don't think I have all of them in that box, which is really sad. But I want to look that up and see if that ever finished a run and whatever happened to the creator. Because I was really, I was really supporting her. It was a female artist from the 90s. An independent little thing. And see what happened to that comic and see what happened to that creator. And so I need to remember to look that up online later. Not now. Oh yeah, I was going to make him have a bumpy head, wasn't I? Pish posh, pish posh. Maybe I don't want him to be so damn bumpy. Like, it was really too bumpy before. I think it was too bumpy. He was so bumpy that the line work was going to then take... I don't know. Maybe I'll draw him without the bumps. So many bumps. And see how I like it. I think I'm going to draw him without the bumps. I feel like this isn't like in the correct perspective over here either, too. But we'll see. I think we all, to some extent, have this problem, but I particularly have it. It's that whole comparisonitis, you know? And I'm constantly comparing myself to pros and saying, you know, oh, well, I'm not as good as Adam Hughes, so I can't, that means therefore I'm not allowed to do anything yet until I'm as good as Adam Hughes or Ryan Otley or the guys that I really admire, right? But then I'm like, but Karen, you're never going to be Adam Hughes or Ryan Otley, nor should you be those guys. And for every fan that they got that loves their style, you know, there might be like out there a couple people who, for some reason, like your particular view take on the world and the way you express your you know, you have your drawing skills. There might be somebody who really likes it. So you shouldn't try to be like somebody else or say that you can't do something until you reach that level. Following creative people on Twitter and stuff is good for getting little reminder memes of that. They'll put, you know, like little. Was that Al Franken who did that thing with. He would sit in front of the mirror and. Which Saturday Night Live guy was that? Guy Hanley or something. I don't know. This silly self-helpy. Wow, I really ramble. I have no apologies for this, you people. If you stumble on my video, I'm so sorry for you. So sorry. You know, it's like Quentin Tarantino's got a new movie he's working on, and I love Quentin Tarantino. But if everybody made movies like Quentin Tarantino, then maybe I wouldn't friggin' love him because I'd be so sick of all the movies that are like, you know what I'm saying? Like, variety is the spice of life. No, 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 no. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. Stuck again, waiting for this silly thing. Why? Why must you do this to me? Don't think this is a problem with, I don't think this problem is that autosave thing. Don't let it deter you from Clip Studio. It's I think it's due to this file's size being huge and me like having way too many things open on my computer plus streaming. I think all those things. Ooh. Let's turn this around. Work with your wrist, Karen, not against it. Use the natural motion of your arm as you turn the canvas so that you can create the lines better. Nope, 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 nope. Wait a minute. Too thick, too thick, too thick for now. I promised myself I wouldn't be drawing so zoomed in digitally, and I shouldn't go any bigger than 50%, but I just can't help myself. I don't know if you can hear me when I'm whispering, by the way. Now, didn't this guy have armbands on? Yes, yes, he did. Dagnabbit. Dagnabbit. Of course, I am going to change the guys in the panel above to reflect these guys more, but the thing about the armbands was if I was going to put them on, I would have to, I was thinking I should like pucker his skin, like show the actual, the skin, you know, because it doesn't just sit there. It's not just pasted on like a superhero costume. It's pinching the flesh a little bit, right? Ugh, no, 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 no. Ugh, it's just so not precise. I wish either was innately precise or innately loose. I'm like somewhere in between the two, which drives me up a bend because then I either look like I'm making mistakes because I'm not precise enough, or I look like I don't know, or I'm not loose enough and expressive enough to just let the feel of it carry the piece. So I benefit from neither. You know, I should get my, well, let's say this is leather and not metal. So if it's leather, it doesn't have to be precise, right? Nope. Poopy, poopy. Poopy, 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 poopy. Mm. Curve, damn you, curve. Muttering. Yeah, a lot of muttering. You know me. I know exactly where my son gets it when he's playing video games. Let me tell you, I do the same thing when I'm playing video games. Not good. Not good. By the way, if I was a Wookiee and I grew up on Kashyyyk, I don't know why I'd leave that place. It's really freaking pretty. Just saying. I feel like there should be a curve there or something to indicate that it's down, and I don't want to have to figure out what the muscles are. So, fuck. You got stuck behind. Mm-hmm. You wrote out a long thing about the evolving of style and becoming complacent. Oh, yeah. But you know, I ramble about whatever, so you could you could put that all back in again. You could bring it back to that subject. If you have thoughts, I would love to hear them. Does this guy look like he has to pee? And he's holding it. He's on his wrist thing looking up where the nearest restroom is. Hey Siri, where's the nearest toilet? Uh-oh. Siri answered.
The closest one I see is restroom on West Washington Street. Is that the one you want?
No.
Looks like that's it.
I don't know if you could hear that. Thank you, Siri. Siri tried to find me a restroom. She found one a couple streets over instead of the one in my house. All right, so Zabethy is now home so she can safely join the chat. As she says, we evolve and learn and make better things as we get older, but you can get stuck and eventually get stuck worrying if things are good enough or if this is really our style. Thing is, style doesn't have to be this giant thing to build and stay at. Well, yeah, that's what I keep trying to tell myself, right? That was the whole like reason for the little self-help pep talk at the beginning of my freaking rambly crisis. But I still don't. I believe that in all other people, right? But that is was. But I was citing examples of like artists that I freaking adored who have continued to create and just gotten better and better, and their first works weren't their while amazing, weren't them at their highest creatorship yet in terms of skill only. And yeah, I still loved them, right? So why do I freak out so much over it when I have examples that I love? Anyway, so, and I don't know. So yeah, that's. Oh. Did you guys hear Siri? Were you able to hear her? Silly Siri. Silly Siri. When you start working on that big comic, is Rin going to join you to talk about it? Like, is she going to talk about the writing stuff, and is she going to be involved, or is she going to be silent behind the scenes? Oh, it's silent on your channel? Okay. I cannot figure out how I want to draw this guy's mouth. And it doesn't matter, he's just a background character. You perpetually hate your art. Why? It's awesome. See? I think your art's awesome. You get frustrated with it. I know that's how all of us artists who have any kind of self-awareness and vision for what we want to be feel, right? I mean, because there are people out there that are completely like, what is that syndrome? The Dunning-Kruger or something that's been in the news lately. People that think they're experts at something, or they think that they're like the shiznit when they're really not. And yet they're completely and utterly confident that they know better. Imposter syndrome going on. But you have a degree in all those things and you taught all those things. So aren't you qualified to make all those things? Not saying that you have to have a degree in art to do it, by the way. If I had to do it all over, I would not go into student loan debt to have my degree. I would I mean, the school benefited me in many ways, but since I haven't gone out into teaching or anything else and using my degree, I could have just self-taught myself and saved myself the money. Of course, I wouldn't have gotten the art history benefit and all that experience from professional teachers and the wisdom and the camaraderie and learning from the other students and blah blah blah. It was amazing, but whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Either way, it's all good. You don't need a degree and all that to be an artist, but sometimes it sure helps, especially if you have imposter syndrome, and you shouldn't feel that way since you're successful enough to get a job teaching it. Oh my Christ. Why am I obsessing over this mouth? Why? Yeah. The older I get, the more I realize that I think things happen for a reason, you know? So, and try to live without regret. That's something that I'm working on lately. Operative word being try. Why are you so happy, dude? You shouldn't be happy. Everybody's grumpy on this space station. Grumpy face. Grumpy, worried. And I'm drawing on the wrong layer. I shouldn't be inking. For crying out loud. Oh, for crying out loud. I don't know what it is about this that's bugging me. I think I need to look up this dude's really got to pee or something. I don't know what his problem is. I need either a mirror or I need to look up some reference because I'm not happy with how I'm drawing this. I have a mirror over there, but it's buried by a bunch of yarn. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, the mouth is weird, right? Hold on. Here's a mirror. It's a handheld mirror and the handheld thing fell off. I'm going to erase the whole thing. Okay. The sketch of it looks good, but I'm making it look weird by tensing too much. Yeah, the problem is I've got a tiny little mouth. Tiny little mouth. And a tiny jaw. I look like the Wicked Witch of the West. Oh, for crap. I'm probably not going to be able to get this tonight. And that's okay because it's, I've been going for an hour and it's almost 2 here and I haven't even played video games yet tonight. So, and because I'm spinning my wheels, it's clearly I need a break. But so who was the baby shower for? Was it a first time baby or? God, this mirror is so dirty I can't even. It's just dusty. Good God, man. Elphaba? Is that a name? Elphaba. Sounds like a name. Elphaba. Elphaba. First time baby for our friendship. Aw. First baby. I only have the one, so the first baby's exciting. That is for sure. And stressful. And then by I have friends who've got 7 kids now. They're on their 7th. The difference between a mother with 7 kids and a mother with the first one is so crazy different. He just looks so damn happy. Maybe he is just damn happy. I don't know. I just can't draw tonight. Is that her real name? So I had Wicked, and I didn't like it. I thought it was well written and all. I just didn't like it. It just was too, and I didn't finish it. And if that is the case, then I freaking blocked that shit out of my head. So, and I didn't see the musical. It was just too dark. I didn't. I think got rid of. I gave my book to somebody else who wanted to read it. I like this mouth better. Yeah,
I think this mouth is better. See what happens when you use reference, people? Get that mirror out. Get it out.
Got to get those middle-aged folds in there like I saw in the frickin' mirror. Okay, I won't touch this mouth anymore tonight. I'll leave it for now. I don't need that layer anymore. I might clean it up, but I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. I'm gonna hit save. So I am glad that I got to chat with you slightly, but I am gonna bail and go downstairs. I tried to let you know, but you had that fun. How many people were there? It sounded like it was crowded. Claustrophobic. But at least you guys were warm. Little babies. I used to be terrified of babies, then I had one. And now I just if I see one, I just swoop down and grab them and I'm like, oh, babies. So, little babies. Little babies. Gosh. Well, you need to go relax, put your feet up, maybe shoot some stuff. That's what I do now when I get stressed. I shoot stuff, not real stuff, obviously. Oh, how do you get rainbow eyeshadow? I'm sure you weren't out of place because they all know, if they're your friends, they love your green hair and rainbow eyeshadow. And I bet the kids loved it. You have to go to tomorrow. Okay, well, that's good too. Put on some soothing music. Drink that wine. Do some art. No, you're gonna be like, it's going to be gone by so fast, and then you're gonna have a book at the end of it, and you're gonna be so. Yeah, drink that wine, please. I want to know how it tastes. You're gonna be so. It'll be done in no time, and then you're gonna have the comics, and you can make cool zines out of them and put them up, and you'll be so proud, and it'll be awesome. So. So go enjoy that and have fun. Have a good time with your honey, and I will see you later. I'm gonna bail and cuddle up with my dog. My poor sad dog.
Only people that are made of pixels. Yes, I will. Have a great night. Bye. See you later. Bye.